Well, here we are at secret location S to try to figure out what's ailing this Hartpar 70. This guy's wanting to bring it to the fair, and he called and said it's having some issues. The neat thing about this tractor is that they are the original owners, as far as I understand. So we'll give it a check and see what we can find. I think he said that the gas was running out, so the float is most likely stuck in the carburetor, if I understood him correctly, but we'll check. I don't know what we have here. Okay, so he said it was running out, I thought, but I'm not sure that it's running out fast enough. So dare we just give it a few taps and see what happens? I'm not sure what the setup is we have here. And I believe they have the original steel wheels that it was on too. So that's kind of neat. I don't know where they are, but all right. I'm guessing that they have this set up. That is nothing. Okay, we got to figure out what we got going on here. I'm betting this is the ignition switch. Well, there we go. Well, what was the problem he was having? He said it didn't have any, it was overflowing gas, or, you know?
I think on this one, it's got a leak somewhere. This water finally burned off.
What's that? Which one? Oh.
I put that alternator on there, and he told me.
Got it a little hot, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's got one of those different kind of regulators on it, don't it? Yeah, that got a little toasty there, didn't it?
Yeah, well, it burnt the end off.
It burnt more than the end. It's
hard flow. You get the ground.
Well, you really don't have to have that for it to just run, but
no,
we need to probably
gotta keep
cut that off. Who had the knife? Cut it off so it don't spark against something, and then we'll fix it later.
The same wire?
No, it's back in there. It's looks like there's a splice here anyway, so but just hack it off there somewhere so it don't. Yeah, that one ain't got nothing. Dead.
So this is gonna let the key on, the switch on. Because it always did start good.
Okay, here we are back at this Super 88, which I started filming the other day. We got the Hartpar 70 running. This tractor, they left the key on and burned a bunch of the wiring. So I got a whole bag of goodies and another alternator. We're gonna put it back the way it's supposed to be, and then hopefully it will be a reliable starting tractor that they can hop on and use. So I'll get going on that and come back with it in a little bit. All right. I'm gonna just go ahead and change this to the 10SI style and eliminate this. I don't know if there's anything wrong with this, but it got kind of hot with the wire melting, so we're just gonna swap it out. Good. Must be a wasp nest on there somewhere. That's what I needed. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure needed that. Come on. Where are you living? Above the radiator. That's grand. That's just what we needed. Okay, the alternator's on. No thanks to the family of wasps that's living above the radiator. So we'll move on to these points. Hopefully. Good grief. I'm gonna have to get some pliers or something. I am not having luck. Well, I'm not believing this. Well, I have never quite had one go quite this difficult for such a simple job. Even the tractors I pull out of the woods don't give up this much trouble, but it got hot enough that it kind of welded the screws on the points into the plate, and I ended up having to take the plate out of the distributor, and I got them broke loose and got the points off of there, got that put back, and now we're in the process of plugs and wires. Got a new coil, new alternator. I'll run some new wiring to replace the burnt stuff, and then we should be hopefully back in business. Also, I should point out, people freak out when you take off spark plug wires, that they won't be able to put them back in the right order. As long as you know where number 1 is, you'll be fine. And the easy way to remember is because all of the 6 cylinders use the same firing order. So think of it this way. 15 is too young, 36 is too old, but 24 is just right. 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. Every 6 cylinder is set up that way. So as long as you know which one is your number 1, you can just go around from there. Okay, well, we're just about ready to try to start it. Got it all wired up. I need to make a wire from the coil to the distributor. And they are using a 4-digit key switch for on-off, which normally would be overkill on something like this, because you use the push button to actually do the cranking. But in this case, that's handy, because I put the alternator on the accessory terminal, and then it shouldn't backfeed and keep the tractor running. So the hardest part about this is they got it mounted down in the dash, so I got to feed it down through there. But I think I got it where it should be fine. Here you can see some of the wiring that was on it. Got a little bit toasty, so if you leave your key on, stuff like that can happen. But anyway, I'm going to get this key mounted in there, and then nobody's here, so I'm going to have to try to find some gas or something. And I think the battery's dead, so we may have to just wait till they come home to be able to try to start it, but at least we're back together. Well, here is the Super 88 at the fair. It made it. They drove it here, so apparently what I did worked, and it was charging the battery when they came in and shut it off, so that was a good deal. The Heart Par, they had trouble getting it started again, which is just so odd because I literally walked over to it and it fired right up. So I even shut it off and started it back up with the crank. So anyway, it must just be one of those deals where I have the magic touch. But anyway, we got it here last night. I drove it on the trailer for them and then helped them move it over here. So we'll go back over to that place after the fair and get the rest of that line of tractors running. As always, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss what comes next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.